Your turn. Nice job, dude. Oh yeah. Where's that go? Where's that go? Ooh. Nice. Rolling it. Roll it up, dude. Roll it up. Make that house, dude. I asked God for knowledge. I rose up early in the morning. I worshiped the Lord. A son was born because I have asked of the Lord. What is knowledge? To comprehend the workings of a given system. I asked God for knowledge. Help me. Help me understand the workings of life. The Lord always establishes his word. I rejoice in salvation. There is no rock like our God. Talk exceedingly humble. Let peace come out of your mouth. For the Lord is God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The Lord maketh alive and bringeth up. The Lord maketh rich, and the Lord lifteth up. The Lord keep the feet of the saints. By force of strength shall no man prevail. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth. The Lord shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. Samuel, chapter 2, verse 6 through 10. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. Amen. Yeah.
Yeah, they got it bumping.
Why by the lie when the truth is free? Illusions creating distorted reality, manifesting heart's desires, faith that anything is possible, probable. With God, I'm unstoppable. Can't deny denial. Life flowing through. Living is a test of subscription, a lifetime trial. Only faith, no fanatics. Pay attention to the antics. Peace over power, panic. Design planned in fashion.
Kadoya Shayahu. Hallelujah. Total Robbie Yeshua. Great. All praises, all honor, all glory to the Most High. Yeah. Thank you so much for the light. Peace and blessings, my people. Peace and blessings. Hey, y'all already know what time it is, man. We back over here again. We coming through live. Another divinely discussion. Man, y'all already know on this side of YouTube, we create content to inspire, to encourage, and to motivate the next to be great. And so let me just give y'all a little backstory, a little backstory before we even get into it, y'all. And for the people who've been already, subscribed to the channel and following the journey thus far, you guys would know that in the back scenes, I work in a field where I deal with the disorder, the mental disorder, the mental disability of the youth. And so today I just wanted to bring forth that discussion, conversation. Family, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And no rights is this any way or form of me sharing my doctorate or degree and being able to tell you guys I know all the answers, but I just wanted to bring forth some observations. I wanted to bring forth a conversation. And as you guys can see by the title of this video, psychological disorders / mental disabilities linked to spiritual possession. So I kind of wanted to have that conversation about that today and bring a light to it. So first and foremost, let me go ahead and greet everybody that's in the chat with us today. Terrific Tarsha, what it do? I see you in the building. Peace and blessings. KM, what's the word, man? Shalom. Truth lover in the building. Peace, family. What it do, man? If I'm coming through loud and clear, if everything is coming through on the audio, on the visual side, please put a 1 in the chat, prayer hands, some fire emojis. Let me know what's up before we even get into it, man. And first things first, as y'all already know, man, over here on this channel, man, we got to make sure we set the vibe right. So we gonna vibe. Go ahead and grab your pen. Go ahead and grab your paper. We're going to do some learning today. Hey, I got a lot of things I want to be able to break down. I got some sources, too, that I want to be able to talk about. So, hey, this is going to be a heavy-headed conversation right here. This is not for the mentally weak. And once again, I want to set out a disclaimer. As you guys can probably see, the thumbnail, that was a picture of myself. And no relations to where I work at as far as this conversation taking place. They're a corporation, they're a business, but I'm an independent contractor. I pretty much have my own ideas and practices that I implement. So with this being said, this is no form or fashion being able to relate to that business on what it is that we do, but personally, my insights and my observations in this field to be able to bring out information on this topic. Okay. I see some prayer hands. I see some fire emojis. Everything coming through clear, man. I bet. Like I said, we're going to vibe first before we even get into it. So, hey, relax your temple. Relax your mind. Get into the spirit, man. How y'all feeling? I hope everybody is feeling blessed and empowered to prosper. I hope everybody is out there, living a great day. I'm over here checking the scenes out. The sun is still out. I see a couple of clouds in the sky. I see the sky is blue, but I see the clouds also. It just creates a more conducive environment for this conversation at hand. And as you guys can also see, man, I put a link in the chat for the ones who are willing to support this content, you can do so through my Cash App. All contributions, all support is definitely appreciated. It helps me continue this work. And once again, family, I can't grow without the help of y'all. It wouldn't be no Divinely Artist channel without y'all. So to say that the support that I do get, yeah, we make sure that we funnel it right back into the system. We funnel it right back into the content and the production, being able to bring forth art, being able to bring forth fashion, and being able to bring forth those beautiful songs that y'all love to hear, man. You know? Hey, Authentic Entertainment, what it do, what it do? Salute, salute. Yeah, we in the building, man. We in the building, I see. So let's go ahead. I want to start the vibe off by sending forth my praises. I don't know about y'all, but every day I wake up, man, I got to make sure I reverence the Most High. And so this one of the songs that keeps me in that spirit, sending forth my praises. You know, Tommy, what it do? What it do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sending
send
forth
forth my
my
praises.
praises. Uh-huh.
I send
Sending
forth
forth
my
my
praises.
praises.
Thank
Thank
God
God
for
for
creating.
creating.
I send forth my praises. Thank God for creating. Everything I see, everything I do, thank God you made it. I send forth my praises. Thank God for creating. Everything I see, everything I do, thank God you made it. I
I
master
master
my
my
stitch
stitching,
and
design
design
in
my
my
life.
life.
You
You
reap
reap
what
what
you
you
sow,
sow,
so
so
just
just
plant what tastes
taste
right.
right.
Water your seeds and
And
enjoy
enjoy
the breeze.
God's
God's grace is peace. My
my
soul no leaves. New faith
faith,
please. Changing
changing
the
the
reason
reason
I
I
needed
needed
therapy.
therapy. Hey,
After
I
the
needed therapy.
fall, God season manifesting. God
God
grinding
riding
for
for
me.
me.
Rocking the faith
If
and
desire,
desire. Heaven inspired
inspired
attire.
fire.
I'm moving
I'm moving
mountains.
mountains.
I'm
I'm
slaying
slaying
giants.
giants. Things got to do. Things got to do.
Everything I see, everything I do. I send forth my praises. Thank God for creating. Everything I see, everything I do, thank God you made it. I send forth my praises. Thank God for creating. Everything I see, everything I do, thank God you made it. Faith and desire, heaven inspired attire. I'm moving mountains, I'm slaying giants. Faith and desire. Rocking faith and desire, heaven inspired attire. I'm moving mountains, I'm slaying giants. My God is the supplier of the faith that's fueling me. Desire extraordinary. Now take the time to see the truth. The lie is so popular and convenient. My own eyes see the rise and fall of the nation. I
I
send
send
forth
my
my praises.
praises. I send
I'm
forth
moving
my
mountains, I'm slaying
praises.
giants.
I send forth my praises. If it is higher, if it's
Inspired
fire,
attire.
fire.
I'm
I'm
moving
moving
mountains,
mountains.
I'm
I'm
slaying
slaying
giants.
giants.
My
My
God
God
is
is
the
the
supplier
supplier.
of the
Of
faith that's fueling me.
the
Desire
desire
extraordinary.
extraordinary. You
I send forth my praises. Thank God for creating. Everything I see, everything I do, thank God you made it. I send forth my
my
praises.
praises.
Thank God for creating. Everything I see, everything I do.
See how you made it. I got two more vibes I want to get into before we even hit this message. I know this is going to be a powerful message, so I got to make sure that we are in that relaxed state of mind, man, and understand what type of spirit that I'm coming when I'm speaking about this, man. I really don't want to come off as someone who is like a doctor, someone who went to school to study this, and someone who's pretty much having what they say degrees or accepted knowledge on this topic. I want to come to you guys as genuine as possible. I want this to seem as though is not a person who believes that they know everything. I'm learning every day. And for someone who has the ability to be in this environment and cultivate a success with connecting with individuals like this, I feel as though it gives me the right to speak on it as though I do have these degrees. So, as y'all can heard there, man, the vibe, send forth my praises, man. I left a verse in there where I pretty much share y'all my experience, man, where I'm like, hey, new faith fleece, changing the reason I needed therapy. After the fall, God season manifesting. Y'all grinding for me. And that was just something I was going through in my younger years where I needed therapy. I was going through a form of identity crisis. I didn't know who I was. I would look in the mirror and I would see my skin and I'll see my face and I would be like, man, who am I? I'm reading the history books that they give unto us and try to tell us who we are. But inside my spirit never resonated with that. And to say that I needed to connect back with the Most High, connect back to my Father who is in heaven, for him to sit me down, open up those scriptures, and really start taking into consideration who I truly am, to regain that power of self, to be able to reflect on where I come from and where I'm headed. That's kind of like the synapses behind that track right there. My next song, man, I just want to spread motivation out there. I want to tell my brothers and my sisters, hey, keep y'all head up. Steve Bless, what it do? What it do? Hey, put it in the chat, man. How y'all feeling? Let's have this open communication, man. How y'all feeling today?
Gotta keep your head up, elevated.
What's the word, chat? I hope y'all feeling elevated.
Gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated. Gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated. Gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience.
Yes, sir.
Gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience, no more waiting. Prayers penetrating. Gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience, no more waiting. Prayers penetrating. Gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience, no more waiting. Prayers penetrating. Adapt to your behavior. You gon' always be what you have. Behaving, overcoming any situation. God grant me favor. Faded, demonstrated, practice patience.
Got it.
Demonstrated, patience. You gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience, no more waiting. Prayers penetrating. Adapt to your behavior. You gon' always be what you have. Behaving, overcoming any situation. God grant me favor. Elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience, no more waiting.
Prayers
No more
penetrating.
waiting. Gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience, no more waiting. Prayers penetrating.
Head up. You know,
Elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience, no more waiting. Prayers penetrating. Gotta keep your head up.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I see about a good amount of people, plus 5 people in the chat, man. Let me know how y'all feeling today. Truth Lover said that new track, Soldier for God, is a banger. Hey, man, shout out to that. Hey, my brother Xavier, man, he sent me that track. I'm like, bro, I need to hop on. I need to be able to express something on that track, man. Let me slide. Let me slide. And so, family, we gonna get into the meat of the discussion, but like I said, I just wanted to relate to y'all in a way where music is my form of expression, artwork is my form of expression, communication is my form of expression. And when I'm trying to elaborate an idea, those are the mediums and modes that I use. And as we're talking about this topic right now about these psychological disorders and mental disabilities, I want to be able to find a connection or a link to somewhat of it dealing also in the spiritual aspect. So that's why I'm asking y'all, how y'all feeling right now? How y'all spirit feeling? How y'all mind is feeling? You know, this is one of the things that I love to do when I get on and have these building educational conversations. I want to be able to check in with the people who are viewing. You know, this ain't just me over here sharing knowledge and going live to create content. No, this is me trying to connect, you know, authentic information into entertainment said how it's hard. Terrific Tasha said, I'm feeling elevated. Okay, okay. All right. I ain't just talking to people who bots out here. Just know this is the form of how I communicate in order to dissipate those people who don't feel some type of way. This is when I talk about these topics, I know that it be some type of entities that try to come in. So, you know, I want to make sure I set them on a course before we get into the meat because I want our conversation, I want the chat to be somewhat connected to the conversation in order to receive this information at hand. Man, brother authentic entertainment said, feeling trapped, brother, ain't gonna lie, but it's all good, baby. Hey, we're gonna keep on building, man. I got one more vibe with y'all. The new vibe, new track that I've been working on in the back scene. I pretty much put a little pizzazz on it. It ain't done yet. It's about to drop soon on the channel, but I just want to preview that to y'all. And of course, it's gonna hit these vibes. I play them for a reason. And when we had this conversation, I'ma reference them. So make sure y'all paying attention, family. We got one more vibe, and then we're gonna get in straight to it. I already know. Y'all probably like, Lee, what's going on, man? We ain't come here to listen to these songs. We came here to listen about these psychological disorders and mental disabilities and the link to the spiritual possessions, man. What you got going on? It's been almost a half an hour, and you ain't talking about nothing yet. Bear with me, man. Bear with me. It's all good, baby, baby. All right, all right. Let's tap in. New track. Let's go ahead. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Put a 1 in the chat. Put some fire emojis in the chat if y'all can hit the vibes right swift.
Connected in the faith, all praises to the Most High. With all my brethren and sisters, peace and blessings to lie. No stopping the vision, multiplying the word is God's provision. Supplying the mission, ignition to fulfill the mission. I'm not a magician, I'm a mathematician. Creating division, addition to this kingdom, preposition to this world. My opposition got him so super sister, so sacrilege. Forsaking the sacred and claiming it's fictitious. And Lord, I am brave. Every day I wake my soul with some praise. Got me from heaven, give unto me the words to say. Heavenly Father, thank you for making a straight way. And Lord, I pray. Every day I wake my soul with some praise. Got me from heaven, give unto me the words to say. Heavenly Father, thank you for making a straight way. Yeah. In times of tribulation, stay patient in your journey, overcoming all situations. Yah graces the righteous with perseverance, a great salvation. Sacrificial service, and these is our eternal oblation. Faith of a mustard seed cementing the growth and foundation. Repentance, spirit, supplication. Yasharala is real on the rise. 12 tribes, one nation. You know? Prosper and be blessed, the gift of Yah shall shine. This little light of mine, unveiling the divine, the shifting paradigm. My spirit so aligned, heard it through the grapevine. Get better over time. With these rhymes, I create upon a line, seeking Yah. They be searching for a sign in the sky. They be looking asinine, praising Yah in the temple, not in the shrine. Keep your thoughts holy and sacred, guard your mind. Every day I wake my soul with some praise. Got me from heaven, give unto me the words to say. Heavenly Father, thank you for making a straight way.
Sing it with me, y'all.
And Lord, I pray. Every day I wake my soul with some praise. Got me from heaven, give unto me the words to say. Heavenly Father, thank you for making a straight way. Yeah. Verse 3, had to hop on the track and spit divinely, miraculously. The blind man see how did Yah part the Red Sea. With faith, anything is possible. The real question is what's plausible when reasoning ain't logical. Studying reality, Rene Descartes philosophy. As a man thinketh, so is he. Simile like the book of Proverbs, chapter 23. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, says he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words. Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Rule not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. For their Redeemer is mighty, he shall plead their cause with thee. Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Verse 7 through 13.
You feel me? Amen. Hey, that track right there. Hey, I can't wait to release that track right there. Y'all already know the spirit under that one. And Lord, I pray. Every day I wake my soul with some praise. Got me from heaven, give unto me the words to say. Heavenly Father, thank you for making a straight way. Yeah. You know? You feel me? You feel me? Talking about that was not like a classic. You already know what's going. You already know what's going on, man. We in here. Okay. Y'all vibe when we send for some praises. We kept our head up. You know, now we over here, we waking up. Every day we waking up. So let's talk about it. Let's get into the meat. Psychological disorders, connection to spiritual subjection, or in layman's terms, connection to demonic possession. I had to put spiritual subjection because, you know, I wanted to come politically correct. And when you're in this field and when you're so-called in the professional health field, there's a way that you must speak in order to be deemed credible. That's why I had to put that disclaimer out in the end, man, and vibe with y'all, because I really didn't want this to get back to the company that I am in work with, to be able to say like, hey man, you can't be representing our company and speaking like that. But at the end of the day, I'm an independent contractor. So my practice is solely individual, but I work underneath their umbrella. I work in their building. But for as my beliefs and as far as what I see and as far as what I implement, it's not always the projection of the head of the company, because honestly, they don't have the experience, they don't have the information that I have, and they don't have the uniqueness that I bring to this field. And let's talk about it. How many people comprehend what psychology is? Or how many people understand what mental disabilities mean? Let's build. Let's talk about it. Come on, man. I got +5 people in the chat. I want to have this conversation. Do many people even know what a psychological disorder is? And we have to hit on this before we even dive into this conversation, because we have to know what we're talking about. Let's see. Let's build. What is a psychological disorder? Let's see if my people know. Let's see if someone can bring forth this information. And that's how I kind of, if y'all privy to the channel, that's how I like to build. I like to be able to have these discussions where I'm interacting. This ain't me coming on here saying I know everything, but for someone else to be able to bring out other aspects to the content right now that we building, it makes it hit even more genuine and authentic. So does anybody know what a psychological disorder is? Or can anyone name a psychological disorder? Talking about, man, that's a tough question. And we're going to talk about it though, because I want to be able to bring forth this connection to the mind and the spirit. Terrific Tarsha says, psychology is the study of the mind and behavior. Facts. That's a fact right there. Woo! Authentic Entertainment said demonic possession, just like you said. Hey, you got these so-called doctors who be like, hold on, that's not demonic possession. The spirit and the mind is not, those aren't things that you can correlate. Those aren't two things that pretty much have any type of experience together. But, to each their own. Everybody has their own connotation or notion or idea. But as a practitioner, as someone who's been in the field, as someone who's devoted their study to this, I mean, I can speak on it and give you guys my take. Truth Lover said, I used to be in those hospitals. They were trying to say I was bipolar, schizo, etc., and wanted me to take pills. Ooh, Truth Lover. Hey, I may need some insight from you, bro. I may need some experiences and for you to elaborate if you're comfortable with that. And so as we build in this conversation right now, if you're comfortable enough sharing your experiences, brother, please do so, just so we can get a overall comprehension of what's going on. Yeah. Terrific Tasha said, a psychological disorder affects mood and behavior. An example is depression. Facts. Another fact right there. Okay. And we having a conversation right now. And as I'm communicating, I'm also learning. I'm learning from you guys. And to say that, hey, once again, I don't know everything. Let me put a disclaimer out. I am not a doctor. I do not have a degree, as far as a doctorate's degree, to be able to say, hey, you better take all of this knowledge, and this is not me misinforming you. Shut. Just the simple fact of what took place for these past couple of years with all this misinformation, mumbo jumbo going out, is like the only person who's certified to speak about things concerning the mind is a doctor. But then again, they're gonna give you things that don't even help your body. or help your spirit and then wonder why the world is in chaos right now? How much do these doctors truly know? And as we was over here vibing in the beginning, best believe that was one of the forms or fashion of therapy. That's one of the forms and fashion of healing. And that's one of the forms and fashion of making sure that your spirit is at peace, to help your mind be able to communicate effectively. Y'all don't hear me, man. Y'all don't hear me, man. Maybe if I show y'all my degree, maybe if I put up, maybe if I said I had a couple of initials before my name, Dr. Lee, y'all be able to be flocking and be like, oh, Lee, what you saying is true, because I see you got a DR in front of your name. You got a PhD. You got a LGBTQ. Yep. Oh, the only people who be able to spread some facts right there, man. Everybody else, man, are they really a credible source? But hey, we gonna make sure we have this conversation, family. Psychological disorders and the connection to the spiritual subjection. Truth Lover bringing it out said most mental health diagnoses are demonic possession, and the doctor don't want to tell you the true things that will help you, such as prayer and fasting. Bring it out. And this is a brother right here who pretty much said that he was involved in that realm on the patient side, and saying that he pretty much wasn't told the truth by these so-called people who had the degree to be able to analyze what's going on within his body. Oh man, he talking about let's go Dr. Lee. And we having fun, man. We having fun. Facts. The right music can be the right medication. 100. Ooh, Truth Lover coming in here, man. He said the pharmacy industry, it's all about money. They want you to be zombies all on these pills. And if you disagree with them, they'll hit you with one of those psychiatric drugs. Hey, thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for sharing pretty much what you've gone through in this life, brother. Because this is, we building right now, organically, naturally. And for people who may not know, Truth Lover, hey, I didn't contact the brother and tell him I was going live about this topic right now. He's not no bot that's coming in and sharing this information with us. Organically, we just connecting. We having this conversation. Hey, man, all praises to Yah for setting me free from those demons. You already know. Facts. All praises, all praises. So we're going to get into it, man. I asked that question, what psychological disorders are, and I got some responses in the chat, and it seems like we all on one accord. It seems like we all have some comprehension of what this may be. And so I just want to take a look at the definition term as far as just doing my extensive research. Come on, man. Y'all already know, man. We got knowledge at the tip of our fingers. You know, just searching it up on Google, you are just able to see what these words mean and the study of it and pretty much everything that is involved underneath that umbrella. So psychological disorder, it's a mental disorder and is characterized by a clinically significant disturbance in an individual's cognition, emotional regulation, or behavior. Let's pause. Cognition, the way you think. Emotion, how you're feeling. Your behavior is what you do. In the chat, when I asked everybody, hey, how are you feeling? I'm trying to get a comprehension of your emotional state. I want to be able to relate to you all as far as, okay, I can see Sister Terrific over there. She's feeling elevated. Okay, let me let me share some elevated vibes with her. We're on the same level. I can speak to her because we're on the same emotional level. Another brother, Authentic Entertainment, he says that he's feeling stuck. Okay, now that I have that idea or notion, his truth, his opinion, his idea about how he's feeling, I'm able to tell the brother and speak to him in that emotional state in order to bring him up. Hey, brother, we free. Hey, brother, I feel you. Can I connect with you right quick? Can I tell you, you're not gonna be in that stuck place forever? Keep your head up. Send forth your praises. Y'all hear the vibes right there now. I told y'all the vibes gonna be able to resonate with the message right now. Y'all hear the vibes, man. You gotta keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience. No more waiting. Prayers penetrating. Adapt to your behavior. You gon' always be what you have. Behaving, overcoming any situation. And so as I ask you guys how you feeling, and as I get a recognition now as we're communicating, as we're having this conversation, I'm able to build on the cognition aspect. How many people in the chat are actually thinking? So if I ask them a question, hey, what does psychological disorders mean? How many people in the chat can respond with a thought that's concise? Cognition, the ability to be able to think about a question that's being asked and relay a message, idea in a way that it can be received. And to say that this all deals into that mental disability factor. This all deals into that disorder factor where if you're not paying attention to this, it can be overlooked and can be deemed as someone who's just they need some drugs. As my brother Truth Lover was pointing out. They categorize people in these facilities. These doctors categorize people. These people with PhDs categorize people as having a disorder because they're not able to connect with this person. Huh? First off, ask that person how they're feeling. First off, being able to understand how they feel. Can you communicate to them in order to uplift them, in order to have them engaging with you when you do ask them questions? Let's be real. Let me get this off the screen right now because I'm gonna talk to y'all real. Let me pause the music too, because this is about to be something pivotal that I'm about to bring out as far as the conversation taking at hand. If you're talking to somebody and they're mad, take in consideration what I'm saying. They're mad. They're angry. They're furious. They're in that emotional state right now. And you're somebody that's happy. You're somebody that's coming through, la 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 la, Mr. Sun, Mr. Shining Sun. And you're trying to tell them, hey, look at the sun, it's shining. And they're just like, I'm angry, I'm mad. You telling them that the sun is shining right now is not going to help that person. Let's be real. The emotional state, when you're communicating to somebody who has a disorder in their emotions and they're not on the same level to you, 9 times out of 10, you cannot communicate with that person, especially if you're not on their level. You guys get what I'm saying? If you're not on their level, you cannot communicate with a person that is angry. And not to say that you have to be angry to communicate to that person, but you have to understand what level they're on and have some type of cognition to be able to say, hey, I comprehend how you're feeling right now. I acknowledge what's around you right now to have you feel some type of way. Boom, you break a barrier right there as far as being able to relate. This person feels more comfortable communicating to you. All right, let's see if their mind is functioning correctly. Let me ask them a question. What color do you see? Oh, I see blue. Okay, they see blue. I see blue. Okay, they have some type of cognition going on that's obviously functioning. All right. And so when we talk about psychological disorders, that is, as you guys seen, by definition, it's a disturbance in an individual's cognition, emotional regulation, or behavior. And now I want to be able to hit on the behavior aspect. How is somebody behaving when they are angry? Is it conducive? Is it constructive? Is it something that brings forth progress? In this field that I'm working in this field that the Most High has blessed me the ability to be able to garner this information and even add my insights to, I see a lot of behaviors. I see behaviors that are deemed serious, injurious behaviors or self-injurious behaviors, where a person will inflict pain on themselves physically. So either you have somebody hitting themselves, smacking themselves, banging their head on the wall. You have somebody who, you know, they say on the drastic levels, you have people who really try to seek harm by using some tool to cut themselves. Those are ways that you can identify someone who's operating underneath this psychological disorder or mental disability. Can they think? What is their emotional regulation? And let's identify their behaviors. And so now my conversation at hand right now is saying that, do these so-called psychological disorders have a connection to spiritual possession, to spiritual subjection? Let me go ahead and interact with y'all right swift. Truth Lover said, anger is a demon in itself. I think the entertainment said, I swear to God, I had a situation like that recently. Point it out, what was the situation? KM said, seriously, they're going to flip that anger on you and you keep playing. Sheesh. What was the situation, Authentic Entertainment? What was going on, man? And I want to be able to have as genuine as a conversation about this topic as possible, just so that it ain't me over here talking about I'm a doctor and I know everything about this so-called study, but say that we are actually building with one another and we're gaining primary resources about the effects of what's going on out here in this world as far as what they try to say is psychological disorders or mental disabilities. So we're going to keep on expanding, man. We're going to keep on growing. But I just wanted to bring that out right swift. But elaborate if you can, if you know, if that's something that you want to share on about the situation that you had recently. But we just going to keep on going with the information at hand. And so we got psychological disorders defined. Okay, cool. Behavior, emotion, cognition, the way people think. And so I want to be able to bring out a little bit more definitions for you guys as far as with dealing with the mind. What is the mind, or what is mental? What does mental mean? And that's a question to the chat, man. If anybody can tell me what mental means, we're going to keep on building there. I want to see how many people have some type of cognition. I don't want to be talking to no zombies out here, man. I don't want to be talking to no drugged up individuals that can't have these conversations, that can't receive an idea and be able to relate back to a person that they're obviously tuning into. That shows me that you have some type of psychological order. If somebody's talking to you, you're able to speak back. If someone's asking you a question, you're able to respond back to them with of course, cognition of the question that they ask. Because if I asked you, hey, what is blue? And then you responded back to me, I love turtles. Turtles are great. And I'm like, I didn't ask you nothing about no turtles. I asked you what the color blue was. And you over here talking about turtles. Man. Mental has to do with your cognitive ability. Facts. Terrific Tarsa said mental is anything related to the mind. Facts. Okay. I see that I'm talking to some people who have some cognition in here. I love that. And I want to be able to, when I have these lives, I want to show people in the chat the difference between a bot, someone who's just coming through trolling, and someone who's actually having the spirit to communicate and able to understand what's taking place right here. This isn't a live stream. In the physical, of course it is, but this is a spiritual connection that I believe that we need to have happen as far as communicating on these topics. So when I do go live, yeah, it says Lee is live streaming, but I look at it as something deeper. Authentic Entertainment said you have body, mind, and spirit, so mental is the mind. Facts. Mental is the connection with the brain. Okay. All right, let's bring it out. Definition of what mental means. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. Let's see here. So mental, relating to the mind, brain, cerebral, intellectual, rational, cognitive, psychological, relating to disorders of the mind. So anything that, when you hear mental, it deals with your brain, it deals with your mind, it deals with your intellect, your concept of how you think. So know that people out here, obviously, when you question them about their mental, are they able to bring forth any cognition, any intellect? Are they able to show you emotional regulation when having a conversation? And let's look at how they behave. More importantly, let's really comprehend how they respond. GC 1B1 says, I just had a recent experience in the hospital and they diagnosed me with bipolar disorder. And I clearly explained to them that I was hanging out with bad people. Woo! Let's talk about it. And we're going to really hit on that aspect as well when we trying to have this correlation or link to mental disabilities to the spiritual possession or spiritual subjection. Brother said, I shared the situation. Brother, you may have skipped it. Let me see. I'm looking. Sheesh. Is it about the feeling trapped situation? Your entourage plays a big role. Facts. Ooh, GC bringing out another important thing that we should be all reminiscing on. Also, I had very low potassium. They said I could have died if I never came. And so about what we're putting into our bodies, what we're eating, what we're consuming has these effects on how we think. Because think about it, family. The irony, think about it. When you eat, many people just take in recollection of what it does to your body as far as your muscles and your arms and your stomach and your legs and all of that stuff, right? How many people actually take in consideration what they eat actually affecting their brain, actually affecting their cognition, their emotional regulation, their behavior? So say that you eat nothing but pork all the time. Say that when you wake up, you You eat some bacon, during your lunchtime. You eat some ribs during dinner. You eat some pulled pork. And that's every day. And alongside that, you got a tall glass of Kool-Aid. And that's your diet for 10 years. Kool-Aid, bacon, ribs, and pulled pork. And then you look and see that person. Do you think they're going to be in the right mind to communicate to you about what health is? Do you think they're going to be mentally healthy? Do you even think they're going to be physically healthy? Do you even think they're going to be spiritually healthy? So, does mental and physical and spiritual health all have a connection? GC Juice Lover said, I was recently there too as well and didn't want to take the medication they wanted me to, and they ended up keeping me there 3 months. Sheesh. GC said, yeah, later I learned I was dealing with some witches that was using THC to play with me, but all praise to the Most High Yah for helping me. And yes, my diet was very bad at the time too. Man, hey, almonds is definitely good for how you think, family. I make sure I have a container of those at least 2 times, 3 times a month. Hey, and when you look into your diet of what you're eating and what goes into your body, it helps. It helps you function more. It helps you be able to improve your cognition. It helps you be able to improve your behavior and your emotional regulation. Why do you think within the scriptures, when you talk about repenting, there's a very, how can I say, a relation to fasting? So ridding your body of toxins or ridding your mind. Fasting can be you stopping and eating some sort of food, or fasting can be you stop consuming some thoughts or practices, whatever it is that you need to cut back on as far as putting it into your body. So when we actually acknowledge what we're eating, when we acknowledge what we're consuming as far as even content, know that that can help improve the ability of our mental health. It can help improve the ability of our psychological order. We can have mental abilities instead of being mentally disabled. And I want to be able to make this a connection between the spirit. I want to be able to make this a connection to so-called spiritual possession. One. Oh man, you jack up. Okay. Terrific Tarsha said yes, they all have a connection. Facts. Ooh. Authentic Entertainment said that THC had me tweaking a couple years ago. All praise to the Most High in Christ, I broke free. Big facts. Right. Fasting cleanses your body and elevates your spirit. It cleanses your physical body. It cleanses your mind. And it elevates your spirit. Okay, we heading somewhere. We going somewhere. I'm talking to people who have some cognition of what's going on in this world. And once again, another disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I do not have a PhD, but what I do have, I have experience with these kids who are deemed so-called mentally disabled, who have these so-called psychological disorders. And best believe, family, when I go into these situations and when I communicate with them, I have a spiritual connection with my Father to be able to gather more information about my so-called clients or brothers and sisters, however people want to look at it, and be able to offer real solutions. King Martin, son of y'all, what it do? Shalom, family. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Hey man, hey, all praises. We got a testimony right there. Been sober for months now, and I feel amazing. All praises, man. All praises, everybody, man. Y'all send through some encouragement to that brother right there to keep the journey going. Y'all already know, man, what I say over here. Y'all willing, y'all gonna hear me say it a million more times. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it if it was easy. But let's keep on expanding on this conversation. Like I told y'all, I had a couple of articles I wanted to bring out. I wanted to read these. I really, you guys gonna see my firsthand reaction to them. I just skimmed over a couple of them, and I was just like, okay, this might be information that will lead on this conversation. So I just wanted to bring that out as well. So we already talked about psychological disorders, what that meant. We already talked about mental, what that meant. So now I want to hit into the realm of what mental illness means. So mind, anything related to your intellect. How do we define mental illness? That's my next question to the chat. What is mental illness and how can you define it? Jesus said, fast and also the Most High Yah to heal your spirituality, your spiritually as well. All you got to do is focus on Him, scriptures, and wisdom, then fasting. Amen. Hey, to work with kids, especially with disorders, you have to have the Holy Spirit with you if you really want to help. And let's just say, family, hey, that might be, you're going to have to check my channel for those topics that I have on that. And not everybody is there trying to help, because at the end of the day, it's a business. And if you don't have kids with disorders, guess what? You don't have a business. If you get what I'm saying, you don't have an infrastructure for these kids. If healing is going out to them, and if they're being cured, it wouldn't be no business. So, yeah, you have to have a Holy Spirit with if you want to help. But in order to keep the business going, let's just say I'm the only brother. Keep in mind, hear what I'm saying. I am the only brother, only male within these clinics that I provide service to these children. And I'm gonna be real. Majority of them be little boys. Majority of these people with the mental disorders and disabilities, psychological disorders, be little boys. And so keep in mind what I'm saying, family. You have few men in this field, all women pretty much with degrees. and when you test their spirit, how many of them really operate in righteousness? And so do you think they're really trying to help these little boys as far as to inspire, to encourage, and to motivate them to be great? But hey, that's a topic for another day, family. We gonna stay on the train of thought with this one, man. My next question is, what is mental illness and how do you define it? Facts. Hey, we are here for a reason. Some mental illnesses could stem from childhood trauma. Okay. That's a fact right there. But I want to know what mental illness is. And if we can bring out some type of description of it. Or if you've seen it, can you put it in the chat of saying, oh, I've seen someone mentally ill and this is how they behaved. This is what they did. I want us to be able to share information of what it is. Terrific. Tarsha said, mental illnesses are conditions that involve changes to your mood and behavior, discrimination, abuse, isolation, poverty, depression, etc. Sheesh. GC said, man, I'm glad I'm here. First time seeing your channel, but I believe I have one of your songs downloaded with Brother Dion, Small World. This caught my attention because someone just posted. Amen. Amen. Authentic Entertainment said, mental illness is a glitch in the brain. So once again, what I love to do on this channel, and this is me learning as well as I'm having this conversation with y'all, I love to be able to break down words. So let's break down mental illness as far as, okay, first word, mental. We already know what mental means, which is relating to the mind. You feel me? Relating to your intellect. Hey, you already know, GC. Hey, you gotta get your mind right. It's not about the limelight. Did it for the love of the art. That's why I shine bright. You feel me? Hey, Small World, man, for real. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopped on that track with that brother Dion Grace right there, shining. And to say, hey, we had to break free of our own disorders to be able to create that track right there, because we could have been talking about any other thing. We could have been talking about staying on the block right there and selling dope to our friends and whatnot. We could have talked about how we got ops out here on the street. But nah, hey, we wanted to talk about something with order. We wanted to talk about something that pretty much brought forth the mental capacity that we have to speak on this life and our experience. Truth Lover said, mental illness from a spiritual viewpoint, demons trying to bug you or attack you and use your spiritual energy or dim your light or make you feel bad about yourself and throw you off. Hey, I can relate with that one. Sounds about right. So, as we already broke down the word mental, relating to the mind, relating to the intellect, illness. When you hear the word illness, what do you hear? What do you think of? You see something that's sick. You see something that's not operating effectively. You see something that's pretty much, it's not healthy. So, mental illness, intellectual sickness, an unhealthy mind. Let me know. Am I hitting? Am I off? Lee, you off, man. Mental illness don't mean an unhealthy mind. Man, mental illness, that's what the doctor said it is. It's about your potassium intake and your calcium in your brain, and you ain't got enough of that. Okay. Well, as we building on this conversation right here, I want to be able to link mental illness, mental disabilities to spiritual possession. Because at the end of the day, I feel as though it all has a correlation to how we perform physically. And if you're not able to communicate effectively in your mind what's going on, what illness is taking place, where's there a break at? Why do you have gaps in your mind? Why is there like a hindrance when people communicate to you and you can't relay a message back? Especially if you have the spirit of the Most High on you. Wouldn't he give you the gift to speak, the gift to talk, to be able to express yourself, to be able to tell people how you feel, and for you to be able to behave in a manner that shows that you have the spirit of the Most High on you? 100. I hear sickness. So mental illness is a sickness. And when the Most High said there would be a famine, what do you think he was speaking on? And when you think about a famine, you think about a lack. You think about a scarcity of food. You think about something that's being deprived, a shortage. And not in the sense of a famine of the physical aspect, but a famine of the spiritual aspect. And when the Most High even elaborated and said there'll be a famine of the word, there'll be a famine of truth, there'll be a shortage of it. When you have a shortage of food, what happens to your body? Is your body going to be in the utmost effective state when you have a shortage of food, when you're deprived of food? I'm just trying to make a correlation here, man. And once again, I have to keep on reiterating this fact. I do not subscribe to being a doctor. I did not go underneath the umbrella to learn underneath these colleges and these well-renowned specialists, but to say I garnered my own experiences within the work field that I'm under, which in the Most High placed me in, to be able to observe, take notes, and have my own data collection. So I'm speaking forth from my experience. Hey, we're gonna have this conversation, man. Divinely discussion, man. Yep, it's very simple. All right. We got somebody that's agree. You feel me? Famine of the word, Bible believers are being labeled crazy by the world. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Authentic Entertainment said, like Pastor Dow says, you have people with knowledge, but no understanding, or no understanding with no knowledge. Or my bad, or understanding with no knowledge. Hey, leads me into that one scripture. Forever learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of truth. Facts, we have to have both. Hey, and we still have food, so it's not that. Hey, we got an abundance of food to the point people are overweight, but it's like, physically, are we healthy? And then in turn, if someone is physically not healthy, does that make their mind healthy? And does that correlate to their spirit being healthy as well? Can they speak to you from a place of beneficial motivation and inspiration if physically they're ill, mentally they're sick, and spiritually they're deprived? I'm not saying, in this world, everybody needs to have all those three to be the truest, most high servant. Yeah, we are all in this environment where we don't have access to the greatest food choices. We obviously don't all have access to inspiring and encouraging and motivating content to be able to make sure our minds are functioning cognitively. We don't always have righteous leaders to be able to have a connection and say, hey, Yah is real. So this is not me putting down someone who lacks in one place or another and then say that, hey, you over here acting wicked and you over here operating in wickedness. But to be able to have that connection, we got to understand all of these things go hand in hand. And being able to elaborate on the psychological disorders and mental disabilities, first and foremost, I want to link the mind to the spirit. Hey, terrific. Tasha came with the script. Amos chapter 11, verse 12. Behold, the days come when with the Lord, said the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, not a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And so when people are pretty much diagnosing you with these medical terms and all this information from doctors, but they're not giving you the word of the Most High, do you think it's going to make your mental perform at maximum capacity and efficiency to be able to operate out here in this world if they're just saying, hey, you have a psychological disorder and you're bipolar or you're schizo, but I ain't telling you what's real as far as giving you a word from the Most High? People got all these words from doctors. People got all these information from doctors and so-called knowledge from PhDs, but are they able to share you a healing word to get your mind right? Man, GC said, if you ask me, mental illness, state of mind can throw you off from seeing and understanding what's really going on. Sheesh. Hey, we hitting there. Come on, brother. Because we could talk about how food and parasites can throw you off. 100. Everything we getting fed is toxic: air, music, medication, TV, etc. And so, hey, I see my brothers and sisters, man. We on one accord. I'm going to bring it out. Definition of this mental illness. And let's just see here. Mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, or behavior. I don't like how they just put changes, because a change, I mean, you can change for the better or for the worse. So for them not to elaborate on that, I'm kind of, I'm stepping back and looking as far as objective. I want to be able to state a fact. If it's a change for positivity, then that's not mental illness. But if it's a change negatively, okay, we might be able to correlate that to a sickness. So let's elaborate. Mental illness can be associated with distress, problems functioning in social, work, or family activities. Mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of. I beg to differ. Feel shame. Feel that emotion of what it means when you can't communicate effectively around people because you got something going on internal that obviously in your spirit you have not been able to rectify yet because you're feeling ashamed. No, feel ashamed so that you can go to the Most High and have this conversation and say, "How fix me? Don't just give me drugs to pacify this so-called disorder to make me less of who I am and not communicate to my brothers and sisters and share them my testimony of how I really feel." My bad, y'all. I really feel passionate about this topic because I see this on a daily where you have these people, you have these individuals who pretty much, they don't really see with a spiritual eye of what's happening with people who have these psychological disorders. And what they do is they drug them up to not even talk about what they experience. They drug them up from a young age. So then reality is therefore distorted within their mental that it inhibits them to even communicate effectively. If y'all can see the thumbnail, right? There's like two heads. One head has like a scribble line in it. And it's like, that pretty much correlates to the transferring or thoughts to the other one. And the other one, it's like more organized. It's in a pattern. So when you talk to people who have these psychological disorders or mental disabilities, know that inside their mind, Their thoughts are everywhere. It's scrambled. It's disorder in their thoughts. It's disorder in their mind. So to say that someone who is trying to communicate speaks from a process of thinking in disorder, and they're trying to talk to someone whose mind and thoughts are in order, do you think that message is going to be received appropriately? Especially if that person who so-called say they had their thoughts in order is not operating within the same spirit that is grace to be able to understand what people are saying when they are not even speaking. Best believe when I operate in this field, you don't have to say nothing for me to understand what you're saying, because I'm so aware to how you behave that you can, hey, I'm looking. I'm not just diagnosing you. I'm having a conversation not with you in the physical, but also in the spirit. So when I talk to you, my words are not vain. I'm talking to you from my spirit. When a doctor talks to you, they're talking to you from information. They're talking to you from passed down observations of people who did wicked things, as far as, hey, if you really want to get there, if you really want to point it out, these people in white coats ain't nothing too different from a witch. Ain't nothing too different from those people in lab coats that was over here doing Frankenstein experiments. So let's be real when we talk about this conversation at hand. And when you talk about where you're receiving this information from, if these people were really here to help you, there would be a cure. It wouldn't be big business. It would be a community of understanding and comprehension. Yeah, and that's why I'm speaking on it with passion like this. And please do not get my emotion of zeal confused with anger. And as I am speaking sternly, this is me showing y'all, hey, I take this very serious. And it is growing at a rapid rate, where we have nothing but wicked doctors out here who are not truly identifying the truth of the matter. And then you got these kids out here suffering because nobody wants to speak to them about the truth that's happening. Hey, I ain't saying, I ain't calling like, hey, I don't want nobody to come over here and slap me with the, hey, you misinforming people with your information. You're not certified. But hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Man. Truthfully said, my first time going to the hospital, I was 14. They diagnosed me with bipolar. Facts. They are talking to you from other studies, has history. That's why they have you fill out millions of forms. Hey, and once again, the way that I do my practice, the way that I implement my so-called programs or medication to be able to help these kids out, I don't do it through getting a form and letting them sign it out and check off boxes. I do it by sitting in a room with that person and I look at them. I look at them for an hour. I look at them for 2 hours. I'll be like, what are they doing? How are they interacting with this? How are they behaving? Okay, I got that firsthand knowledge. Okay, what can I implement? Okay, let me see if I can connect with this person by, I see they love engaging in Lego play. Let me play with some Legos. Let me try to connect and see what their cognition is. Hey, what color Lego is this? Oh, it's red. You're right, it is red. What's up? You love red or you love blue? Oh, I love red. Oh, here you go. Matter of fact, give me that red back. Let me take that. See how they respond emotionally after I take it. Oh no, you just took my red. Wait, hold on. Why are you not regulated emotionally? There's a better way that you can do that. There's a better way that you can communicate to me on that. What you mean you just took my red? Well, you can say, Lee, can I have my red back, please? Oh, okay, Lee, can I have my red back, please? Here you go. Hey, great job communicating to me. I love it when you communicate to me in an effective and an appropriate manner. That shows me that you have behavior and emotional regulation. I'm just giving y'all a look into my world. And to say it's not, as much as I want to progress in the field that I'm currently striving in, I see the wickedness and the inhumane treatment as far as not being able to connect with these individuals on that personal level to be able to really comprehend what is going on. Not everybody, matter of fact, no one you can get true insight of based off of crossing out and X and O-ing things on a piece of paper. Sheesh. Big pharma witchcraft at high levels. 100. Only thing that will set you free is a relationship with Yah through prayer and fasting. I agree as well. GC said, nope. I just read recently when a person is simply under stress or feeling pressured that their mind only functions 50%. Says ain't no person is able to use 100% of their brain. Man. Hey, the foundations of building, man. Say all the brothers, man. If you had some correlation of a youngin' back then and your parents gave you some Lincoln Logs or some Legos or something to be able to build something up, it showed your order of how your mind is able to function in this world. As you're stacking up the Legos, you're building something that shows your capacity of having some type of connection what's going on around you. To say kids these days, you hand them some Lincoln Logs or some Legos, their first mind is to create disorder. They want to smash it. They want to destroy it. They're angry. They don't have any emotional regulation. And their behavior is not set to build. I'm just sharing y'all my observation. But let's keep on going though. We still in here talking about mental illness and what it really means. So let's see here. There are so-called 10 mental illnesses of what people may experience, as we can see. And I'm going to just name a few of them. You have anxiety disorders, depression, bipolar disorders, PTSD, schizo, eating disorders, disruptive behavior and dissocial disorders, and neurodevelopmental disorders. Honestly, I mean, I'm not going to go and describe all of those, but to have some cognition of what a few of those means in order to hit this connection between spiritual and mental health and how it deals with spiritual possession. So when you have somebody who's undergo in that mental illness of eating disorders, let's just say, family, if you are watching and if you are in tune with the Most High's word, I mean, he definitely gives us correlation of what we should and what we shouldn't be eating. And to say for some people to just be out here consuming anything, eating anything, in the spirit, you have to be able to have that connection with someone and be like, hold on, what are you operating under? If someone is out here, let's keep it real. If someone is out here eating babies, or let's give that depiction in a very cartoon elaborate way, where you have these so-called vampires, right? What do they eat? you have these people that eat other people. Impaler. What was he eating out here? Would you consider that an eating disorder? Or would you consider that someone who had cognition and emotional regulation and engaged in appropriate behavior? For someone who engages in cannibalism, would you consider that an eating disorder or appropriate eating habit? Man, the book of Leviticus, the laws of what we're eating, what we're supposed to eat. They say that it is spiritual when you eat. They say the Last Supper, that wasn't just about food, but that was a consumption of what people literally were dealing with when they came together and commune as a family, and when eating was sacred. What you put in your body was an act of actually reverencing the Most High. Nowadays, hey, people out here doing those mukbangs and whatnot, making videos of them just eating. Looks very disorderly. If you ask me, my opinion, looks very disorderly. Authentic Entertainment said, what you eat and drink keeps you in a certain frequency. Facts. Truth Lover said, I cut off pork from a young age. My uncle showed me a video of someone with worms in their stomach, and from then on, I was good on the pork. So know that all of these so-called mental disorders has some type of effect on our physical body, right? Because if we're undergoing some type of eating disorder, which is categorized as a mental illness, it can affect your body, connection with your body right there, right? Y'all get what I'm saying, right? Let me know if I'm losing y'all. Let me know. But if y'all still here in the conversation, keep me in tune. Hey, peace, man. Appreciate you joining through, family. Hey, man. Yes, sir. Appreciate the sub, man. Appreciate the support. Man. Disgusting, right? So we know that these so-called mental disorders can affect you physically. That's a connection. Spiritually, are we aware of that aspect? Especially if we're reading the Most High's words and He's telling us what not to eat. If you're connected within the spirit to comprehend why the Most High is saying, hey, don't eat that pig. Don't touch any unclean thing. Hey, stop eating those bottom feeders at the ocean. All they do is eat dookie. All they do is eat dead fish. Eat the fish that be eating the live algae. Eat the fish that be over here, have freshness in their body. Don't eat the fish that eat dead things. And to be able to have that connection spiritually, it's a relation to how you think. Correct me if I'm wrong, family. Please do. Once again, I am not a doctor, so I'm not speaking to y'all from saying, hey, this is the real information right here. And I have a PhD, SD, LOPP, MYS, alphabetical order of degree. Truth Lover said, no unclean meat. Facts. So we elaborated on the eating disorder. Another one I want to talk about is bipolar. And if anybody can share their experience with that, I'm going ahead and look at the definition right here. Is pretty much saying bipolar disorder is a disorder associated with episodes of mood swings ranging from depressive lows to manic highs. So obviously, when you're in a form of depression, when you're in a lowly state physically, the person that portrays the behavior of being depressed, they're not going to be upbeat. They're going to be dragging around. They're going to be head down. They ain't finna be talking about you got to keep your head up, elevated, motivated, demonstrated, practice patience, no more waiting. They ain't going to be singing that song because they're going to be in that depressed state. They ain't finna behave in that way. They're going to talk to you about how they seen some death happening and talk to you about how lonely and how sad they are. They gonna hit you with a Ride Wave song. Nah, I just say that's just the type of vibe he be getting when I hear some of his tunes, man. I'll be like, bro, you good? Sound a little sad, man. But once again, let's have this link. Let's correlate it to how someone is within their spirit when you have these mental disabilities, mental disorders. Bipolar is a subcategory of someone experiencing mental illness. They have these very, very low depression vibes or these absurdly high manic, just jittery overcoming of emotions. And when you have no medium, no middle ground, no regulation of your emotions, and you're teetering and tottering back and forth between those two, physically, man, I would assume that you're like just all over the place as far as mentally. You don't have any peace. You don't have any comfort. You can't sit back and just breathe. That's very taxing as far as on your physical state and even on your mind. If this is something that you are labeled as and been diagnosed as, I'm pretty sure, when it comes to getting rest, it's not too much of it. KM said, honestly, everybody has this behavior, but they label us bipolar. But in a sense where you have these doctors that, once again, they have all this information. How can you label somebody bipolar when everybody has the field and experience of feeling high and feeling low? But then again, it's like when you don't have that regulation of saying, okay, you can be high sometimes, you can be low sometimes, but don't stay there for an extended period. Because is that natural? Is that beneficial? And I like to correlate it to the vibration or to the heartbeat. And in life, you're going to have your ups and downs. And one day, hey, you all up high. You got a promotion. You're doing great on your job. One day, something happens, and on the side, you're dealing with a family member that possibly passed away. In all honesty, that what helps you know that you're living. But to say, do you stay there? Once your family member passes away, do you stay in that low state? Once you get that job and you got that promotion, do you stay there all high and all mighty, like, yeah, I'm up here on, But to say you get regulation from time to time, and you get your heartbeat goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. When you see someone heartbeat on one of those monitors, you see the beep 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 beep. Our emotions, yeah, as beings on this plane, we go through it all. But when I see that diagnosis of bipolar, you're pretty much saying that no one has the ability to control the regulation of their emotions. So that's where it comes as detrimental. But I see what you're saying, though, KM. Yeah, and everybody pretty much has that behavior, but they label us bipolar because obviously they don't have that connection to be able to communicate to you to understand and elaborate what it is that you're trying to speak, because they're not operating from the same spirit, or they don't have a spirit to be able to comprehend what you're going through or what you're seeing, to be able to give you insight and direction instead of medication and subjection. And let's see here. So bipolar. And I guess schizo is kind of like the same thing. But that's kind of the three I wanted to hit on. The eating disorder, the bipolar disorder, and the schizophrenia. And schizophrenia is a disorder that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and behave clearly. So when you have someone who you're talking to and you're saying, hey, look at the sky, it's blue. What color do you see? And they're like, oh, I see green. I'm like, hold on, all right, thinking correctly. And then, you feel me, next thing you know, they're over here on the roof and they talking about, I want to fly. I'm about to fly. And you looking at them like, wait, they're not behaving like someone who has legs and has 2 arms. You don't have wings. Why are you trying to fly? And then, you know, you put them in a space and they don't know how to feel. Let's just say they're in a warm place and they talking about, oh my gosh, I'm so cold and everything around me. I'm so cold. But they at the beach in Florida and it's 80 degrees out and they talking about they cold. So they can't understand how they feel. And I'm talking about your feeling and your senses, but not even elaborating that to the emotional aspect, because that does deal with a lot of emotionally. If you're off, your feelings are going to be off as far as what it is in reality that you're interacting with. And then we already hit on that state of, hey, you're not a bird. And please don't behave as a bird as you're on top of a house. And when we look up in the sky, I hope you see the color blue too, or azul for my other brothers that speak in a different language. I hope we're able to have some recognition of how to think and portray what we see in a like manner, or what is real. Man. KM said facts, especially the food they provide us for in the US, is horrible. That's why we keep having mood swings with GMO and chemical balance drinks. Facts. True Flow said they be asking you those questions like, do you hear voices or see things that aren't there, or shadows, when they label you schizo? And you mean to tell me don't none of this correlate to the spiritual aspect of it? When you're seeing things and when you're hearing things, you think that ain't something spiritual happening? Oh, okay. We about to point it out. And that's pretty much it for my definitions right there. We defined what mental illness is. We defined mental disorders. We define what mental means, and psychological disorders. And we were pretty much able to get a scope on all of that there. I wanted to bring forth some articles speaking on this topic. And once again, I really didn't do too much backstory and research on what articles I wanted to bring out. I'm interacting with these genuinely with y'all, and as I'm reading them through, These are my first time seeing them, and I just was like, okay, these might add to the conversation as I skim through them. And so let's see here. The first one I wanted to bring out, let's see, what happens when a person is possessed. And that's the title of this so-called article. It's written by Don Stewart. And so he's pretty much going to bring out his opinion on what possession is and what happens. Said, brother, we got to agree sometimes people that are labeled crazy deep down, they may not be that crazy. Hey, it's all who's pretty much labeling them and getting them that identification to say it's crazy to keep on giving people a medicine that ain't working. But the people who got on the lab coats that are supposed to be these so-called doctors are telling you to keep on doing it and saying, hey, it's working. And they're calling you crazy for not taking it. Let's just say, I got a smile on my face, but hopefully y'all reading it right, man. I'm being very, very conscious of my word choices right here. I ain't trying to spread no misinformation. So let's be polite in the chat, man, when we talking about these so-called people who label us crazy because, hey, y'all know. Said what you think about the nervous system issue that people are having. And that deals with a lot of the psychological disorders or the spectrum of so-called autism literally on the rise right now. And that's kind of like the field that I work in, where I have firsthand experience of people who have these labels of autism, where they can't really have these connections within their brain and their body to be able to effectively respond to stimuli or have conversations or being able to engage appropriately in social and have appropriate behaviors and responses in their everyday goings. So my response to that and what I think, it's all spiritual, because people are starting to not give reference to the spirit and to say that we are now having a influx in physical and mental illnesses. We're forgetting about an aspect of the spiritual, as we see that everything is coming to a place where we're just starting to get artificially inseminated. People give more correlation to the artificial world than they do to the spiritual. Which one is more real? But let's get to this article right here. And the guy has some important things that I felt as though we can touch on about having a connection between psychological disorders and spiritual possessions. As you can see, the topic of this article is those who were possessed by demons in scriptures show certain symptoms. And he's going to tell you they included not being able to control themselves. And so as we were able to dissect and break down mental disorders, and literally, as someone, let's be real, they can't control themselves. A person who is under the control of some type of spiritual subjection, they can't control themselves. The spirit is able to speak through their lips and can make them mute as it desires. And there are definitely some scriptures that relate to that, where you have people speaking out, not from their self, but from a spirit that was operating within them. You find these so-called demons or spiritual possessions as vessels, and people are literally being used as tools for these entities to speak to them. Another one was A new personality. People who are possessed, they undergo a transformation. A new personality is introduced to that person. The so-called victim becomes a different person. I mean, that's real. Ooh, and this another one right here where I see a lot of this, man. A different voice. And sometimes those who are possessed speak with a different voice. I know y'all hear those movies. Y'all hear it in the movies where a little boy or a little girl, they underneath that spirit and another voice starts coming out to them. And these are all references in the Bible as well, where you can look up and see these things taking place. And so let me relate this to one of the forms that I see of spiritual possession and mental disorders that's going on out here, and being able to relate that to, you know, that one community. And when you see men transform, y'all get what I'm saying. I'm really trying to be appropriate with my language right now. I ain't, you know, I want to be as professional as I can, but when you see the men transforming, hey, they got to transform their voice too. You hear me? So they definitely go under some transformation, physically, mentally, and to say spiritually. You could see it taking place by the way that they speak. The fourth note that he put in there was spiritual knowledge. When these entities begin to undergo their subjection of a person, it gives them knowledge that they obviously wouldn't have had. And where you got these people that's speaking in these so-called intellectual ways of, wait, how'd you know that? You're schizo. How'd you know that? You're undergoing all these. You're bipolar right now. How'd you get that information? Let's correlate it to the spirit, man. And so also you have people who gain new abilities. A person who is possessed acquires new abilities. For example, those possessed can demonstrate superhuman strength. They don't really have that mental constraint on what their physical body can do anymore. And when you do encounter these people who have these so-called psychological disabilities, psychological disorders, hey, first thing that you be seeing them is they be in those straitjackets wrapped up, because they already know, hey, if they get loose, they can cause some serious harm. They can cause some damage because they're not held by any constraints physically in their mind to say, hey, you just got new abilities to be able to perform in a superhuman way. Note number 6, tendencies to think about self-deletion. These possessions can lead to those when a person is under subjection underneath a spirit that is operating towards wickedness. Hey, steal, kill, and destroy. And how many of us, as I read through those, can you see some type of correlation between mental disorders and with what the brother had pointed out, as far as people out here having possessions or being possessed? And I just wanted to bring forth this conversation, this divinely discussion, because I wanted to bring a light on how we interact with people who are under this idea of medical information. I wanted to bring a light and say that there can be another healing process done rather than medication, rather than testing and observing under an environment where it's necessarily not helping. You can have a connection within the spirit to be able to benefit someone who is operating in a mental disorder, to be able to bring forth some properties of connection with them in the life that they serve, to be able to get them back on course, to have the ability to be effective within a social environment, to have the ability to be able to communicate their ideas without engaging in erratic behaviors, to continue to move and progress in his life without be looking at someone as a victim or as a casualty of this mental war that's going on. Man, like MK Ultra, but let me stop because that's deep. Hey, and that's another tool, another form of technology in all aspects, man. I feel like technology is more spiritual than physical at this point in day and age, where you have things that appear out of nowhere. Come on now. Spirit is relating to the metaphysical world. Spirit is relating to transcendence. When you think about the word spiritual, you think about things that ultimately you cannot see. But yeah, family, I just wanted to make sure I spread some awareness. And I wanted to have this conversation because this has been a journey for myself to be able to grow in my own practice, but also be able to give a different outlook on what I see with these individuals who may be suffering from these psychological disorders or mental disabilities. And I wanted to bring that link, missing link, might I add, to spiritual awareness. And I'm not saying everybody who does have this so-called label of being mentally ill, they're under some type of spiritual or demonic attack, but let's keep it real. 9 times out of 10, there is a relation. So being able to bring that back into the forefront of when we're looking at this as far as practitioners and so-called technicians, or in my field, an analyst. I want to be able to see it from all realms and scopes, not just from the mental and the physical. I'm looking at the spiritual as well. So, man, this has been an exciting build. I love the engagement in the chat. Hey, Word Authentic, I see that all over the place, especially in Instagram. What's that? Word Authentic. Yeah, man. But no, this has been a very interesting conversation, and I feel like I grew a lot as far as connecting with y'all and engaging back and forth and sharing information. And I'm thankful, man. Psychological disorders and the connection to the spiritual subjection. We got to really be aware out here. And we got to be of service as people who do reverence the Most High, to be observing these times that we in and say, how can I offer assistance to people that may be experiencing that? And one way you can is just keep on shining. Most High will definitely give you the words to speak that will click to that person and bring a connection for them to cast away those thoughts, to cast away that behavior, to begin to walk in their health physically and has their spirit aligned. Man. Hey, likewise, thank you for this build. I learned a lot of valuable information. Hey, most definitely. Healthy food for thought. Man. Talking about that was relating to MK Ultra on all platforms, but it hit big on Instagram the most. Hey, ain't nothing new under the sun, man. They say they tried to put us in a trance before, but the real ones know what's up. And at the end of the day, we got to make sure that we keep our minds guarded. Hey, this walk is narrow. Keep your head up. Keep sending forth your praise. Appreciate you. Great live, family, powerful build, 100. Man, I appreciate everybody that tapped in. We 2 hours in. I feel like it's only right. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, man. I may have to do a part 2 of this build. I feel like I ain't even bring out all the aspects as far as concerning this topic, but just to be able to scratch the surface of it, yeah, we got there. And I definitely love and appreciate all the support, man. If y'all haven't already, go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and share the video with somebody who you think might benefit from this conversation. And without y'all, it wouldn't be no Divinely Artist channel. I appreciate all the help that I've been getting as far as in the vaccine, all the information that people been sharing with me, as far as just keep me encouraged, keep me motivated. One way you could do that, hey, simply leaving messages in the comments after the videos. That helps the algorithm be able to pick up on the channel and say this is something that people like to see. Hey, if y'all want to see more topics like this, let me know. If y'all want to build on more engaging conversations, hey, I need the feedback. So as much as the people that come through and try to connect with me, if I ain't hearing nothing, if I ain't seeing nothing, how I'm gonna know that this is something that people want to support? And for the people that do want to support, man, just know liking, commenting, and sharing the videos, that's the freest form of support. And as y'all can see, man, I am an artist. So I do have artworks that I love to be able to share and give out to express to one another what be going on inside my head and the ability that the Most High gave me to create, faith and desire, heavily inspired attire. So it's all coming together, family, where I'm building up that base to be able to have a more fundamental way to grow in the aspect of this so-called YouTube business. But at the same time, I want to be able to create content that's genuine. I want to be able to create a community that has open communication and being able to build with like-minded individuals to progress in a goal. So one of the ways that you also can support is, hey, there's the Cash App. It's easy. You could just go in that and donate whatever you feel like. That would let me know, hey, this is something I need to invest in. All the proceeds definitely go back into the channel, making sure that we got the equipment, making sure that we got the Wi-Fi to go live, making sure that I get some time separated to be able to create the productions and the vibes as well. So, just letting y'all know where all the support goes to and being as forefront as possible, man. Without y'all, once again, I wouldn't have a channel. So for the people that do support, man, I love y'all. I thank y'all. Man, it's been a great journey thus far. We pushing on about 500 subs, man. I want to be able to get to 500 subs by the end of this year, so I'm gonna need y'all help. And we got about, last time I checked, 450. So Hey, let's keep on sharing. Let's keep on growing. Let's keep on building. And we're going to get there. Most definitely. Most definitely. Hey, I'm going to keep on grinding, man. It ain't going to stop. Keep on shining. Peace and blessings to y'all, man. Sheesh. I got to go get me some good eats. I got to go refuel my tank, man. So my mind is right to go into the 9 to 5 tomorrow, you know. Hey, most definitely on the road to 1K over here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to use my platform always. Y'all know the vibe, to inspire, to encourage, and to motivate the next to be great. So that's the statement right there. We building on it. But until next time, family, peace.
How did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got it bumping.
Why bother lie when the truth is free? Illusions creating distorted reality, manifesting heart's desires, faith that anything is possible, probable. With God, I'm unstoppable. Can't deny denial. Life flowing through. Living is a test of subscription, a lifetime trial. Only faith, no fanatics. Pay attention to the antics. Peace over power, panic. Design planned in fashion.